Hey guys, welcome back. Recently, Fox Airsoft sent over a couple of mystery boxes. The $200 one had the Umarex MP5 ST6 in it. Well, the smaller one had this. This is a 100th anniversary Colt 1911 A1. It's a CO2 blowback pistol, and I'll tell you, it's a lot of fun to use. Hit! Now, before we get into the details of the pistol, let's check out everything it comes with. Before we get into the pistol, keep in mind it does not come with any CO2, so I highly recommend picking up a pack of CO2 canisters, and they are 12 gram. Gun comes in a pretty flashy cardboard box. A lot of logos on it, looks really nice. You can see Colt 1911, and there's a little logo on the side here that says Cybergun. So yes, it is licensed by Cybergun for the Colt and 1911 logos to be legally on there. Open the gun up, and you've got a really pretty basic instruction manual. Not a whole lot to figure out with this gun. It's very straightforward. Little pack of 0.2 gram BBs. Probably don't want to use those, but it's totally up to you. An Allen key for removing and installing your CO2 canister, and your pistol. Magazine comes already in it. Just one magazine. I recently took this pistol out to Forest Fire Airsoft, one of my local airsoft fields, and I'll tell you, I had a blast with it. I was sniping all day running my bolt action rifle, and this served as a fantastic sidearm. Got a few kills with it, had a couple scenarios where I had to get a little too close for the rifle and had to go to my sidearm. Now I was carrying a couple different sidearms, and as you guys know, it's summer right now as of filming this video. And there's a lot of brush out in the woods if you're playing outdoor field airsoft. So having a gun like this that shoots over 350, 370, 380 in that kind of range, it was definitely doing better than my other sidearm, which needs some work, unfortunately. It's shooting like 300 feet per second. It's more geared toward indoor and works great for that. But if I take it out in the field, people don't always feel it, don't call their hits, things like that happen. So having a pistol like this, where it shoots a bit hotter, people definitely feel it and call their hits more often, I feel like. Now, for CQB, they do make another version of this that is a little bit lower power. This is the 1.4 joule. I believe they make roughly a 1 joule version as well. So this is the higher power version, definitely more suited to outdoor field airsoft. Now, you guys are probably wondering, who makes this pistol? It is licensed by Cybergun, so they get the Colt licensing from them. It does have Colt trademarks on the side of the gun, so that's pretty awesome. It is OEMed by KWC, the same guys that make the 1911 pistol for Elite Force. So you're essentially getting an Elite Force 1911 with Colt trades and kind of an older styling to it. If you've ever used a 1911, the features and operation of this is really straightforward. To operate the pistol, you're going to need to load your magazine, put your CO2 in. That's not too tough at all. Go ahead and take your Allen key and your mag, unscrew the base as far as you need to so that the CO2 canister can sit inside of the magazine. You want to put the nozzle end in first. Now what I would do, you might want to put a little bit of silicone lubricant on the little nozzle there just to make sure everything seals well. I'm going to crank it really quickly, so you don't lose a whole lot of CO2 when you're clamping it down and it's penetrating the top there. After that, your CO2 canister and your magazine are all set to go. After that, rack the slide, load your first BB. After that, it's good to go. On your last round, it is going to lock the slide open, assuming you've got enough gas. Sometimes if it's just not enough CO2, it'll just kind of sputter and go out, but that's natural for any gas pistol. I do like the fact that the pistol has a little lanyard loop on the bottom. This is a nice feature, something to have around. I can't say I use them personally, but it's a cool little feature nonetheless. Magazine release is simply on the left side of the gun, so also for right-handed users only. It cannot be swapped to the right side, and it is not ambidextrous. Pressing it, your magazine drops pretty freely out without having to strip it out. The sights on this gun are pretty rudimentary. They are definitely aged, you can tell. There's a small notch cut out of the back, and there's a small post on the front. There are no dots, and you just have to kind of line them up, and they line up very, very barely. But they work. I could definitely hit a human-sized target with it, say 100 feet or so. Now, you probably noticed I haven't talked about hop-up. You do have to disassemble the gun a little bit to get to the hop-up and adjust it. So let's go sit down at the tech table real quick, and I'll show you how to do that. Run your slide back until you hit the first notch and it lines up with the back of the slide catch there. It takes a little bit of force because it's kind of pinned in place there. It has a little spring detent. But this will slide out and you can set this aside. Your entire upper is going to slide off the frame here. Now we have a small dial there right in the back of that spring, and that will adjust your hop up. Farther forward with a little notch is more hop, farther back is less hop. Now, continuing disassembly on this, in case you need to clean your barrel, swap something out, not tough at all. Remove the spring and guide here and the little piece in front of that. After that, rotate the front end of your muzzle here, and your entire barrel and hop up slides out the front. Now, just like the Elite Force 1911s, the hop up and barrel are one-way pinned into the outer barrel. The 100th anniversary 1911 A1 made by KWC is a fun pistol. They make some of the best 1911s on the market without a doubt. And despite the fact that it doesn't really have a whole lot of capacity, only about 14 rounds in the magazine, I have to say I love the range and accuracy and the fantastic kick it offers. If I have to give this a grade, I'm probably going to give it a 7 out of 10. The biggest things for me are CO2. I love the kick. I love the power behind CO2, but you do end up having to have a CO2 canister in every magazine. So if you've got spare magazines, and I highly recommend having a spare mag or two just because of the low capacity, about 14 rounds of this mag, it's going to cost you 50 cents to $1 per 12-gram canister. You're going to end up going through, at least a few bucks every time you load your mags. It can get expensive, but if you do the math, it ends up being pretty close to the same cost as buying a can of green gas and loading your mags that way. Second thing is the mag capacity, only 14. You would have to have a few more mags on you than you would, say, any other pistol that holds 20, 25 rounds. Most airsoft pistols do have a higher capacity than just 14. So highly recommend having a few more mags on you. You can get extended mags as well that do hold more than 14 rounds. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Prodigy from Kilo 23. Go check this pistol out on foxairsoft.com. I'll leave a link in the description so you can go check it out for yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next review.